What is up, legends? We are back. Back. Here we are. All right, Outerplane. All right, so what we're going to do in this video is something similar to what I did in soft launch when it came to SEA. We're going to talk about characters I feel that are cool to start with based off of my experience. This is going to be my fourth and last time. Let me see. Let me make sure that I'm right on that. Obviously, Scion. Like and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. The game will be covered on the channel, just to let you guys know. It has always been covered on the channel. I just stopped playing because when they announced global and we had an actual date, I was like, well, there's no reason for me to do anything else. I experimented for what I wanted to experiment with, and I was just pushing ahead to something that I knew I ultimately was going to stop and quit. Now we're going to redo everything all over again when it comes global, and I'm going to tell you my experiences from the 3 previous times that I went through the game. Now, essentially, you're going to have a bunch of people, if not other creators as well, tell you, oh my god, you got to use this, you got to use that, this, that, and the third. Like, as with most mobile games, you can kind of do whatever the hell you want to do, as long as you counter the elements. But they're characters that are just fun and characters that will make things actually overall easy. Now, this particular time, because I didn't have her the first 2 times, actually the first 3 times, actually, I used Laplahce, which you see in the front right here. Now, she is a fun character to actually use, and you see I got her up to 5-star, and end up with attack set, you know, that type of stuff. Now, the thing with Laplahce that actually will make her really good is you need to pair her with somebody who's going to inflict something on the target. And the main reason is that the more, show you guys really quick, the more debuffs the target has, the higher damage she is going to actually do. And on top of that, if she kills with it, as you can see, she gets an extra turn, which is particularly useful when you're trying to clear out mobs for a single target DPS nuke unit, which is what this is, but it's very specific and you have to set her up properly. It means that auto-wise, she is most likely going to waste it majority of the time. But she also has something very interesting right here that helped me out a lot, which is called Water Spout. Water Spout, it attacks AoE all enemies and has an 80% chance to put barrier up on allies, which is extremely nice. And you notice right there that you can actually lower the cooldown on it as well when you get up to level 3. So she's a multi-purpose type of unit that needs a little bit of tech behind it. Most people are going to not care about that and ignore all that and be like, man, this unit's kind of trash, I don't like it. However, being that she was the first banner, usually in this game, unless you're super lucky, you should focus on that banner and just get it to 5-star, because a 5-star character is just ridiculously strong. They just are. You could save and then like, hey, I'm going to be the edgy, you know, hipster guy and wait for the next banner or something else like this, but you're just really slowing yourself down for no reason. And you're going to need summons, because this is a very good rate game when it comes to other characters coming out off banner. And the previous times that I have actually played, now I've literally gotten characters off banner. As you guys can see, we got Leo. I ended up getting Valentin relatively early. I got some pieces of Rona right here, and you shut the head down. You see I got Beth, Vera as well. And like, characters will come out. And this is before I stopped summoning, and you can go this down here and you notice that I was just off a few characters, you know, Francesca, Alice, Noah, Serin, Maxwell, Liza, and Veronica. And I stopped literally like a month ago. So if I had kept going, I probably would have knocked out all the rest of these. And this is an account that didn't get anything spent on it, obviously, because we weren't going to stick around. The Laplahce ended up pretty interesting. So I'll talk a little bit about Leo. Leo is very good auto for those people who like to be lazy and be auto, because he has good skills that will just protect your team. Even his baseline normal attack attacks the enemies that has 80% chance to gain a barrier for 2 turns. The barrier strength is based off of defense. Again, it's like, obviously he's a tank, so pretty useful. Courageous protection increases the evasion for 1 turn and grants a barrier equal to 50%. Again, very good for this being lazy boy. Like, he's probably the ultimate lazy boy tank. You don't have to think about anything. He gets invulnerability right here which you can really use in a fight where people cheese, like with Francesca, because Francesca is a hole when you fight her. When you fight this girl right here, and especially in hard mode, she sucks to fight in hard mode because she will decimate your team if you don't have a way to get rid of her bleed or just make yourself immune to the BS that she's going to actually do when you know it's coming. Pretty lit overall. Now, you guys notice that the reason why I focus on this character right now is because this character could literally be used with everybody. Period. Everybody. There's nobody else that's like this in the game right now. And I know people are like, what's more important? And you gotta understand what I'm saying right now. This is the paladin of the game that doesn't heal. She doesn't heal, which if she healed, then she would be the most broken character in gacha history. But it doesn't matter what your team comp is. She's just gonna work with every single team comp, which is why I said she's literally the most important character to get immediately. There's other characters that do a job and they're really good for clearing content, but there's only one character that works with everybody that literally makes your game easier, and it's her. So we're going to talk about that. So attacks an enemy and increases priority of the ally with the highest attack, which if it's her, then she gets the buff, which that basically means she gets to skip people. So the faster this character is, the more turns that she's going to get for you and everybody else, just off of the trigger happy, number one. And more turns, essentially that's why I say it doesn't matter what characters you have, it's just that she's going to make you get more turns. And that's essentially having two characters and one character. Every single gacha game works like that. People always try to go around it, but you always see characters like this. This are always the number one characters, the ones that get you more turns. An example of that is Scylla in Star Rail. Scylla is a single target version of what Valentin does. And you see what Scylla does. Scylla just says, nah, it's my turn. No, you thought it was my turn again. Oh, that guy died. My turn again. Oh, I got my special. My turn again. He died. My turn again. Like, literally, Scylla is a single target of this. And you see how crazy that is, and she's the same exactly way. Except she has the nerve to say, my second skill increases all critical hit chance and critical damage for 2 turns and gains an extra turn. So it's my turn. I pushed up that other character, so it's dead, but it's my turn now. Like, there ain't nobody better than this in this game, period, right now. Attacks all enemies and reduces the target's priority. So not only does she does what she does in the first 2 things, but now she pushes back everybody. So now they get thrown back, and she hits everybody. On top of that, actually relatively hard if you put some nice gear on her. Then you have her chain passive. After attacking, has 100% chance to increase critical hit damage to all allies again. So that's more buff on top of that. And then her duel, after attacking, increases priority of the ally with the highest attack again. So again, she says, no, it's not y'all turn. Y'all don't get to play. They ain't nobody better than this character. You just doing some copium if you really think that. Just stop it. Stop. So actors that are good, as I feel, but they don't fit that type of role where they transcend everything, because there's people who are like that. And we'll go to the first one that wasn't the banner right away, but she did eventually end up being the banner, is Noah. Noah is Miss God tier speed cleave. I'm gonna kill everybody and make things easier for you, because she is another character that loosely is kind of like Scylla and Valentin, where she gets an extra turn plus damage on top of that extra turn. And again, getting extra turns in this game is pretty good. So attacks enemy obtains 1 Kaiser energy if used during the caster's turn. So she gets the extra damage burst. See, critical hit chance burst is 100% level 1. Nasty, great. Weakness gauge reduction, if you see, that's a 2 right there, which is really good. If Kaiser Knuckle scores a critical hit during the caster turn, activates Kaiser Cannon, because there's that thing again, extra turn. Oh, I critical? No, my turn. which attacks all enemies dealing damage proportional to the target's max health, obtains 1 additional energy, which makes her a good choice if you want to actually make her be a tank bruiser type of thing, which she can be in the place of Rona, who you get free. I'm not going to talk about Rona, already. Like, she's super simple to understand. She defense breaks and everything else, and she's also a character who's very good in use. Then you have Noah Kaiser X, increases critical hit chance. So like a critical hit chance, and attacks enemies, consumes all Kaiser energy, deals additional damage portion to target's max health if there are 5 or more Kaiser energy. So she's tanky, she does a bunch of damage, she's hard to kill, super nice. After attacking, recovers 25 chain points. Chain effect is pretty nice. Dual attack effect, damage increases proportional to the target's max health. So again, you want to max health her and get max health and critical damage. Critical hit damage, not critical hit, because you can like a little bit, but majority of the time she's gonna have, especially with the critical hit chance on the burst, she's not gonna need that much of it. So you throw a little here and there, but you're probably gonna want to get critical damage. All right, so we're going to talk about Serin. Now, Serin is probably one of the best, if not the best healer in the game. You got a 2-star healer in the game that's actually pretty good, but Serin just kind of does everything. She attacks the enemy, has 8% chance to remove a debuff from all allies. Heals all allies' health by 35% of Serin's max health. Additionally, recovers all other allies' action points for 25, which is nice. And then the rise heals 1 ally and reduces the target's skill cooldown by 2 turns. Additionally, increases the target's priority by 100%. So again, if you put Noah, Valentin, and Serin all together, you literally don't let the computer do anything. You just don't. They just don't get to play, basically. Which again, which is why I'm telling you about these characters first, because if there's a fight that you struggle on, literally those 3 characters, if you put them all together alone, you won't struggle on that fight because you just override everything that the computer will be able to do. It won't have enough turns to kill you, and you'll just have overabundant turns to kill it. Just my opinion is what I've been doing, even in a fight that I knew absolutely no idea what the hell was going on. I didn't have Serin, but if you guys notice in my videos, I would always go get Serin or Sarah, whatever her name is. I would go get her, or I would go get Noah because I didn't have Noah either, and put them together with Valentin and just get more turns to actually override until I could figure out what was going on in the battle. That's how I learned the fights. I didn't go look at anybody else, or there really wasn't anybody else to go look at, to be honest, because I was the furthest person ahead doing all the content. So people were looking at me. So I had to actually actively figure out what the hell all this stuff was doing, that's how I did it. I had to say, okay, you know what? How can I survive all this and get extra turns to figure out so I could tell people what was going on? And that's what I figured out to do, is just, get the turns so I can survive things and get characters that allow me to see things so I can understand. And you literally could just do that through the whole game, to be honest. If you get to a fight that's hard, just to get you extra turns so you can deal with it. If you get nuked by something or smacked, okay, that's what you need to do about that. Then you restart the fight and do it over again. Just that simple. Chain passive, after attacking, has 100% chance to increase all allies' attacks for 2 turns. After attacking, dual attack, has 8% chance to remove 1 debuff from all allies. Again, all very good. Helps you out, gets rid of things that's on top of you. And what I'm essentially showing you is transcendent characters. There's characters that are good for what they do, but then there's characters that are just better than everybody else, and you can put them with everybody else and they'll work exceedingly well. Another character that is transcendent like that, Mr. Maxwell. Mr. AoE, and screw everything up for everything on the opposite side, but yeah. Attacks all enemies, increases attack for 2 turns. Damage dealt inversely proportional to the number of targets that the caster and cast a turn gains Revelation of True. Mana Converter. Attacks all enemies and reduces the duration of buffs on the target that took damage by 1 turn, or obtains 3 Revelation of Truth if used during the caster's turn. And you see, increase more damage. Chance to enhance the skill, increases invulnerability duration with 2. So this isn't necessarily about what I want to say, getting another turn, but he's invincible, kind of the same way that Leo does, so it kind of helps. Blessing of Mages requires 5 revelations of truth to be used, attacks all enemies, damage dealt increases the proportional number of targets. This attack penetrates 30% of target's defense, so no matter what, it's going to just do damage because it's just going to ignore defense, which is nasty and very good. And then the skill chain companion effect after attacking recovers the casters in the next chain skill action points for 25, and duel after attacking grants increased attack for 1 turn, which again, super nice, super great. Now, with that said, there are 2-star characters that are relatively great, that work extremely well. We won't really talk about those because I've talked about those in the past. It's just repeating information. However, I will add one character that probably is close to Transcend, but I don't really put her there because I think Leo is a little bit easier to use because he's kind of like face roll easy. But there's Veronica. Now, the reason why Veronica is in the middle is because Veronica is a little bit interesting to build, and I'll explain that at the end. So she has Battlefield Commander, attacks an enemy, and has 75% chance to inflict Taunted on the target for 1 turn, activates dual attack from the ally with the highest attack if the caster's defense is currently increased. So she's going to dual attack, obviously, if she got the buff up and all that type of stuff. She has Commander Resolve, removes 2 debuffs from the caster, which is extremely good, grants barrier to the ally with the lowest health, which helps people, and the barriers increase the caster's strength. Endurance Cannon attacks enemies, increases the defense of all allies for 3 turns, and removes 1 buff from a target, which is good. So if somebody has a buff, you can go after them. She's extremely good PvP-wise. Like, PvP-wise, she's a major problem. PvE-wise, you want to build her with HP, but she has high damage multipliers, so people will get caught by that. And she's another weird character that you can't really let auto all the time because she's just going to be weird and do stuff that she really shouldn't be doing majority of the time, and you're just going to want to like hold on to your endurance cannon, and the computer don't hold on to jack. So just make sure that you're probably just going to have to manual her. You can't just let her just set it and forget it, which most people are going to struggle with that because she's going to waste her 3, and then you're going to be in trouble sometimes because obviously she's the tank and she's going to need to do stuff. And then a lot of her multipliers seem to be on the DPS side because I think that she's just obviously meant to be a DPS unit, but a lot of people are going to get her. A lot of people are going to use her in PvE because she is good in PvE. So that's where the problem of how to build her comes in, because you're not going to really until you hear me say stuff like that, you're probably like, oh, gotta get her and go throw out here. You're almost better using Leo and Noah in that situation because they're just gonna. Noah's a better bruiser overall, and she has better damage too, and she gets to skip turn, all type of those. If you want a more defensive based type of character that you're probably gonna have to control, then that'd be Veronica. That's why Veronica is not the Transcend. She looked like SDEF and probably my favorite looking character in the game because she a Bae. Even her storyline stuff, she a Bae. But for the most part, there's better choices to put there. Even Rona does a better job in that, and she's free. You pretty much get Rona free, and Rona's just basically, when you put lifesteal on her, Rona don't die. She's really like the last character out there. Lifesteal with counterattack, GG yo. GG yo, throw that lifesteal counterattack and have max health rolls on that. GG yo, the character don't die and do good damage. And got a defense break. Like, you can't ask for more. And right there, increases the ally's skill damage. Nasty when you're doing the skill attack. Damage and increases portion of the caster's health. Again, you're doing all, you want to throw the max health on that. And, you just want to do that. You have like the tidal wave right there. And I believe this one right here by itself, even without the counter, the lifesteal, on her, she's going to heal back herself anyway. So she's a unit that just brings back all her health, like all the way. Now you have other characters like Francesca who are good single target, but they take a lot to actually build to make good. So it's cool getting her in the beginning for you to build her a bit later. And she is a darkness unit. You don't get a lot of darkness units in the beginning. You have a better chance of getting Vera quickly. And again, 2-star units are actually pretty good. And I've actually talked about them before in the past, which is why I'm not really talking about them right now. And then you have Philia, who is actually okay as well. And there's one other one. Do I have her or don't I have her? No, I don't have her. Eliza. These are all units that are kind of like niche, but for the most part, there's a lot of characters that just do their job really well, and they're 2-star characters, and it's like they're not really meant to be like super crazy. They don't really transcend, and there's like a good deal of characters who do things like that. Like Sophia is like that. Again, we're not gonna go too far in it. Marion is like that. Marion defense breaks too. So as far as where I got before I actually stopped, we got up to episode 5 hard mode before I dipped out. Challenge wise, got the stage 7 over here. I didn't really go too hard for this stage 4. Stage 3 over here. Skyward Tower, it started over, but I got to, you can see the check marks. I got to 65 before I stopped, around 65, somewhere around this point. And this is Sigma right here. I got Sigma the first time in CBT because I did everything in the CBT before they dipped out. Second time around, I went up all the way to the top twice in the CBT because I wanted to try different things. So I literally know what characters I want and what characters I want to use, and that is going to save me a lot of time and resources. And if they put Laplahce out there again, I'll do it all over again because Laplahce just made things easier. Her combined with Valentin, I literally had like her auto majority of everything, and when I had to think, then I would bring somebody else in. But if I can get Laplahce, Valentin, and Noah, then I wouldn't even really care, to be honest, what I had after that. You can use the free healer basically like forever, like Ava, because you can get her all the way up to like 6-star damn near for free anyway, and she just does the job. So if something happens, you can, do whatever. Tio does the job as well. Tio does the job. Literally, I had Tio at level 34 and put her in fights on hard mode, and she just did the job along with Ava, because there's going to be times that you're going to need to use both of them at the same time. So, however, if you want to just build Tio from the start, you can and just ignore Ava, but there's really no reason not to use Ava because she gets up to 5-star. So you can just bring Tio in later for use and stuff like that. But that's all I really have for right now. As far as people that I want, obviously the main thing, if I'm going to re-roll, is going to be for Valentin and only Valentin. Depending on how easy Global will make it, they're probably not going to make it easy though. So I'm probably not even going to try that hard on doing that and just roll with whatever I got until she actually comes out, because you can win just fine all the way through the beginner campaign, which is the normal campaign, without getting her. In fact, that's what happened to me over here. She didn't show up for me until like what was that, chapter 10, chapter 9, like right before I finished the chapter. That's when she finally came out in the banner. If I can get her early, great, and then worry about everything else after that. I will try to actually do that and re-roll and see what happens. I'll give it a go, but I'm not going to go crazy trying to do it, if we're being honest, because it's no need, because she'll eventually come out anyway. That's just the way that this game is. Stuff will just come out. You can survive without doing that in the meantime. But my initial thing is her and Noah. because I just want to put them together and then build around those two and that, and then go from there. As far as base, what I essentially did, because you see right here, I pretty much ended up with majority of everything unlocked, and I started to head down right here. I ignored supply module because it really don't give you a whole lot of anything in the beginning, and expedition does, but you have to get it all the way down to the bottom for it to really matter. You could just open up all of the baseline stuff and do that, and then hold on. But Kate's workshop is the most important to focus on, because Kate's workshop is what allows you to do all of your trade skills and makes things easier for you to actually build gear, because this is what this game does better over Epic 7. You can actually build gear properly and get pieces to actually build gear properly relatively easy and stress-free. It's going to still be RNG, but it's less of RNG because you can control where that RNG comes from. You can even just go straight to unlocking level 6 stuff before you you just end up getting like really good stuff that you can just build early. So I focused on this early. Eventually you're going to be able to do all of it anyway, because what ends up happening is you just really just start getting all this stuff early. And this is just a base that we've done videos for this in the past, so you can look it up on the channel, like the base and everything else, and you just end up being able to just do everything relatively easy right here. Like you see, we could just do all of this without worrying about knocking anything out. I can just head over to here because we're done with all the rest of the stuff. So now I can just go down here. And this is helping the store out, so sale level. And essentially what this does is allow you to, if you don't want to actually go for crafting, you can just buy it. Like, see, like it got something really nice right here. Effectiveness is really nice if you have a unit that's like that, and they see like a lifesteal 5 armor piece, and then we have this right here, 50% chance to resurrect and heal. Max health when killed. That's interesting. Probably wouldn't do it because it's a 2-star, but it's still interesting. And then we're getting down right here, and you could rotate it out if you want to, if it's all trash, for like 12. Again, I probably wouldn't do that, but the supply module is not really that great to pay attention to until you max it. So that's why I save it for last, because I'd rather have the trade skill stuff in general first. And we're gonna remake the guild and all that type of stuff again. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. This is going to be my last time restarting, because I'm tired of restarting. I've done way too much of this game. I think I played this game more than any other game, going all the way to end game, and I had enough. Technically I didn't do it in this though, and this because I stopped because of global. But we're just gonna be right back there again. So I'm probably not gonna do like, hey, this is how you kill this, because it's already going to be up on the channel. But I am going to show you my my journey going through it all over again, sadly. So let's see. There's no other banner here. That's interesting. So what, they just give up on SEA? Oh, we got somebody. Like, this happens a lot. The rates ain't bad in this game, so like you're gonna get stuff.
Hi, I'm Rico, a mercenary elf.
Okay, so who is it?
Let's fight until we're both dead.
Francesca?
Huh?
Yep.
Who are you? You must not value your life. How about we play a game of kill or die? Oh, it's simple. Either you kill me, or I kill you.
She crazy. She just is.
I'm Orox, a warrior in the Demi-Beast Liberation Front.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
I think that's the only 3. But as you can see, you know, randomly just get the character. And we got a free one, so we might as well knock that out too. Finra. Cool. Alright, so it's kind of weird. Unless they had one up and just got rid of it. That's probably what happened. But here's the rates right here. You know what the rates are. Now it like really looks like this isn't great, but I'm telling you guys, like if you watching the video, like off banner, this game might as well be called Off Banner Plane because that's all they really do. I'm hoping that they put what's the name, Rin or Lin, as the character, because I'll go with her because I used her CBT and she was really fun. If you guys remember the first one, she was just a really fun unit to use. She was just raw damage. She reminded me of Karine from Epic 7, and you could use her kind of like the same way because she got extra turns as well. But you know, if it's Laplahce again, then I'll just, you know, I'll roll with it because that's Bae. She's pretty good, and yeah. See you guys next video. Be legendary. Hopefully you got some use out of this. You don't necessarily have to like just listen to me or anything else like this. I'm just telling you the path of least resistance with these characters is up to you. Whichever characters that you like to actually use. Also know that this doesn't always work for every particular fight. There's going to be fights that you're going to need to actually counter, and there's going to be fights where they want you to specifically use like maybe 2 units, maybe 2 strikers, maybe 2 tanks, maybe 2 healers or stuff like that.
How are you gonna call a lady and then just ignore her?
See, that's Valentin. She mad because we ain't paying attention to her. She like, look at my outfit. I got this Chinese outfit on. I'm thick. You supposed to pay attention. Anyway, her story too was like, ma'am, are you trying to have babies out here? Like, I ain't gonna. You'll see. Catch you guys later. Peace. Thank you, Legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.